Ferrari FXX. Introduced in 2005, this vehicle effectively invented the modern track day hypercar program. Based on the legendary Enzo, it featured a larger, much more powerful V12 engine and highly advanced aerodynamics that made it entirely illegal for public roads. Buyers didn't just purchase a car, they bought into a highly exclusive testing program where the manufacturer held on to the vehicles and shipped them to private track events around the world. The data gathered by these private owners directly influenced the next generation of road-going supercars. Ferrari 599XX. Following the success of the original track program, engineers turned their attention to a front-engined Grand Tourer in 2009. They stripped away all heavy luxury interiors and added a sophisticated aerodynamic system that included active fans in the trunk to suck the car to the ground. The massive engine was tuned to produce a deafening high-pitched scream, unrestrained by civilian noise regulations. It became the first production-derived car to break the 7-minute barrier at the world-famous Nürburgring racetrack. Ferrari FXXK. Unveiled in 2014, this was the track-only evolution of a flagship hybrid hypercar. The K in its name stands for the Kinetic Energy Recovery System, a piece of technology lifted directly from Formula One racing. By removing all street-legal restrictions like headlights, turn signals, and emission controls, engineers pushed the combined output of the combustion engine and electric motors well past 1,000 horsepower. It features a radical split rear wing design that perfectly balances massive downforce with high-speed stability. McLaren P1 GTR. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of a historic racing victory, this British manufacturer released a weaponized version of their hybrid hypercar. Stripped of all creature comforts, it features a widened track, a fixed rear wing equipped with a drag reduction system, and a completely revised exhaust that shoots massive blue flames. Owners were invited to join a specialized driver training program, receiving access to professional racing simulators and fitness coaches to physically prepare them for the immense G-forces the car generates. McLaren Senna GTR. While the standard version was already criticized for looking too aggressive for the street, the track-only model took the aerodynamic philosophy to an absolute extreme. Unrestricted by pedestrian safety laws, the front splitter was extended dramatically, and the rear wing was expanded to overhang the back of the car entirely. These modifications allowed it to generate an astonishing amount of downforce, meaning it can corner at speeds that defy logical physics, making it the fastest closed-wheel car the company had ever produced. McLaren Soloulless GT. Stepping away from modifying existing road cars, this machine began its life entirely in the digital world as a concept car for a popular racing video game. The manufacturer eventually decided to build a limited run of 25 physical models for the real world. It features a single-seat, central driving position accessed through a sliding glass canopy, just like a fighter jet. Powered by a naturally aspirated V10 engine that revs beyond 10,000 revolutions per minute, it offers an experience almost identical to piloting a modern endurance racing prototype. Aston Martin Vulcan. Released in 2015, this purely aggressive track car represents a celebration of traditional, old-school horsepower. It lacks hybrid systems or turbochargers, relying instead on a massive, naturally aspirated 7-liter V12 engine located entirely behind the front axle for perfect weight distribution. The entire chassis and body are woven from carbon fiber, keeping the weight incredibly low. To ensure buyers could actually handle the brutal power delivery, the purchase included an intensive driving course that started in smaller racing cars before graduating to the main event. Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. Pushing the boundaries of what a closed-wheel vehicle can achieve, this track monster was co-developed with a legendary Formula One aerodynamicist. Unlike the street-legal version, this car has a significantly longer wheelbase and wider chassis to maximize the efficiency of its aerodynamic underbody. It completely abandons the heavy hybrid battery system of its road-going sibling, opting for pure V12 combustion. The resulting lap times are roughly equivalent to a professional endurance racing car. Pagani Zonda R. Born from a customer request for the ultimate track toy, this Italian masterpiece shares almost nothing with the standard road car it resembles. The engineers utilized a bespoke carbon titanium central tub and bolted in an engine derived directly from a Mercedes-Benz racing car. Without needing to pass noise or emission tests, the exhaust system is essentially a set of straight pipes, producing one of the loudest, most distinct engine wails in automotive history. Its raw performance completely shattered lap records for production-based vehicles around the globe. Pagani Huayira R. Continuing the legacy of extreme track weapons, this model abandoned the turbocharged engines of its street-legal counterpart in favor of a custom-built, naturally aspirated V12. The entire vehicle was designed around the engine, which acts as a stressed member of the chassis, holding the rear suspension together just like a purebred racing car. The aerodynamic shell was sculpted to generate massive downforce while remaining incredibly elegant, proving that a brutally fast track car can still be a work of automotive art.
Bugatti Bolide. Famous for building luxurious, incredibly heavy hypercars focused on top speed, this French brand completely reversed its philosophy for the track. They took their monstrous quad-turbocharged W16 engine and built the absolute lightest possible chassis around it. The exterior design looks like a spaceship, featuring hundreds of dimples on the roof scoop that actively change shape at high speeds to reduce aerodynamic drag. The power-to-weight ratio is so extreme that it theoretically possesses the capability to lap a racetrack faster than a modern Formula One car. Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Named after the sixth element on the periodic table, carbon, this vehicle was an exercise in extreme weight reduction. Almost every single component, from the chassis and body panels to the suspension arms and drive shaft, was crafted from advanced carbon fiber. It weighed less than a standard compact hatchback, but possessed the howling V10 engine of a high-end supercar. Because it lacked airbags, reinforced bumpers, and thick glass, it was strictly forbidden from public roads, offering a raw, visceral driving experience unmatched by heavier modern vehicles. Lamborghini Asenza SCV12. Developed directly by the brand's motorsport division, this limited edition track car was engineered from the ground up to deliver a pure racing experience. It features the most powerful naturally aspirated V12 the company has ever produced, channeling all of its power exclusively to the rear wheels. The carbon fiber chassis is so strong that it does not require an internal steel roll cage, saving significant weight. Owners gain entry to an exclusive club, with the manufacturer handling all transportation and maintenance for private events at world-class circuits. Porsche 935. Unveiled in 2018, this vehicle is a modern tribute to one of the most famous endurance racing cars of the late 1970s, affectionately known as Moby Dick. Underneath the retro-styled, elongated carbon fiber bodywork sits the chassis and twin-turbo engine of a modern street-legal performance car. It blends vintage aesthetics, like the massive flat nose and exposed titanium exhaust tips, with cutting-edge digital racing displays and stability control. Because it was not built to conform to any specific racing series rules or road laws, it exists purely as a high-speed collector's item. Ford GT Mark II. When the American manufacturer ended its official factory racing program, it decided to unleash the full potential of its race car without the restrictions of governing body regulations. This track-only edition features a massive dual-element rear wing, a roof-mounted air intake, and a much more powerful engine than the actual race-winning vehicle. Engineers also removed the ride height adjustment systems used on the street car, locking the suspension into an ultra-low, heavily stiffened track mode that provides immense mechanical grip. Maserati MC12 Versione Corse. Built in 2006, this is a customer-focused derivative of a highly successful championship-winning GT1 race car. While it shares a chassis and engine block with a famous Ferrari, it features significantly longer, more flowing bodywork, designed for high-speed stability. It produces an immense amount of power and lacks almost all modern electronic driving aids, demanding absolute respect and skill from the driver. Only a dozen were ever produced, making it an incredibly rare sight even at elite private track days. Gordon Murray T50's Niki Lauda. Designed by the legendary engineer behind the original McLaren F1, this track car is an absolute obsession with weight saving and aerodynamic purity. It features a massive fan at the rear to constantly suck the car to the pavement, a technology the designer famously introduced to motorsport in the 1970s. The central driving position gives the pilot a perfect view of the track, and the naturally aspirated V12 engine is designed to rev instantly, providing razor-sharp throttle response that turbocharged engines simply cannot match. Brabom BT62. Reviving a historic motorsport name, this Australian-built track car was designed to offer an uncompromising, pure driving experience. It relies on a high-revving V8 rather than complex hybrid systems, and its aerodynamic profile generates more downforce than the actual weight of the car itself. The interior is a Spartan carbon fiber tub, filled with heavy-duty racing harnesses and a removable steering wheel loaded with telemetry controls. It challenges drivers to push their physical limits, as the lack of heavy electronic assists makes it incredibly demanding to drive at the edge of traction. Lotus T125. Rather than modifying a street car or building a closed-cockpit hypercar, this British manufacturer offered private clients the chance to own what is essentially a modern Formula One car. It features an open-wheel design, a carbon composite chassis, and a high-revving V8 engine. Unlike actual race cars that require an army of engineers and laptops just to start the engine, this vehicle is designed with a push-button starter, allowing wealthy enthusiasts to experience the terrifying speed and extreme cornering forces of an open-wheel racer without needing a dedicated pit crew. Red Bull RB17. Designed entirely by the most successful aerodynamicist in modern motorsport history, this hypercar brings current Formula One ground effect technology directly to private consumers. It features a closed cockpit, but relies on advanced underbody tunnels to generate unbelievable levels of grip without relying entirely on massive, drag-inducing top wings. Powered by a high-revving V10 paired with a sophisticated hybrid system, it's engineered to deliver lap times faster than a modern racing car, making it arguably the ultimate track day weapon ever conceived.